Welcome to the end zone. Let's move the chains. Guys, I'm sorry I had to take a little bit of a vacation from YouTube and from work to focus on school and some personal things in my life, but I'm excited to be back and back on a day when there's a lot of sports, football news specifically. So today we're talking about the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm sure you've heard already by now that the Arizona Cardinals have signed J.J. Watt. Now, before we get into it, I want to hear your opinion down below. So comment, do you think that this signing, and do you think just in general, the Arizona Cardinals are going to make the playoffs next year? So that's my question to you. But they land J.J. Watt, 2 years, $31 million for the contract. And a lot of people already pointing out how Watt will join Chandler Jones, which I personally cannot wait to see how they try and attack the quarterbacks in their division. And I think that this is great timing for the Cardinals because they have a lot of questions concerning free agency this year and some holes to fill. And we're not just talking about how J.J. Watt really adds on to this Cardinals team and the franchise, but we're talking about the future of the Cardinals because I think that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be a very, very solid, good football team and maybe, just maybe, be Super Bowl contenders. We'll see. So among these free agents, got Patrick Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, Kenyon Drake, J.R. Sweezy, Hassan Reddick, Marcus Golden, Kelvin Beachum, Drake Kirkpatrick, Jonathan Joseph, and Chris Banjo. All have to be evaluated, so we'll see what really happens with the future of this team and some of these players. Like Larry Fitzgerald, is he going to retire? Is he going to decide to stay? Maybe he'll want to stay because J.J. Watt came, or maybe he feels his time is up in Arizona and just in the NFL in general. Now remember, this Cardinals team, as I said earlier, was very close to making the playoffs last season, and I think that they really could have had Kyler Murray just not gotten injured or been going through this late season slump with injuries. I had him on my fantasy team, so the struggle was real when I was relying on him to get points and he was not playing at his full potential. So, draft-wise, and remember, this is still early because we have some free agency things to get through with the Cardinals and other teams. And we also have to watch the pro days and see how all these players pan out. But I think that offensively, the Cardinals have a little bit of upgrading to do. And I think that offense is the Cardinals' strength. So feed that strength and help out Kyler Murray. So in round one, we're just going to talk about some potential targets. And I think offense is the way to go, starting with the offensive line, wide receiver, and running back. Before I talk about who I think I would pick in the Cardinals position, who would you draft in the first round if you were the Cardinals GM or you were the guy making the decision for the Cardinals? And I would love to see someone like Najee Harris fall into the Cardinals' hands. A solid running back to help Kyler Murray, help this team. One who's really good pass catching, but can also be a reliable runner. And Najee Harris, super athletic. We saw what he could do in the national championship and in the Rose Bowl, that hurdle against Notre Dame. And just watching Najee Harris, I know a lot of people like Travis Etienne, a lot of these other running backs in the draft, but Najee is the guy for me, and I think that the Cardinals should draft a running back. Offensive line, always a need for a lot of teams. Wide receiver, if Fitz isn't coming back, they're probably going to have to fill his role. Now, I will say the whole Najee Harris thing for me is just me fanboying out on wanting to see Najee and Kyler in the same backfield. I will admit, cornerback is probably the way the Arizona Cardinals are going to go in their first round pick. And for the future of the Arizona Cardinals, I'm just really excited to see what they can do and what they will do. I think that's bright. I really, really do. I know a lot of people have been giving the coaching staff some flack here and there, but late in the season, they didn't make the playoffs last year. I think that they can do it this year with Kyler Murray healthy, with some good draft picks, and maybe a first-round pick with Najee Harris. And now J.J. Watt. This seems bright for the Arizona Cardinals. I'd love to know your opinions down below. Thanks for watching the EndZone. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment so we can move the chains.